Hi everyone, guess what I'm using? I'm using my new camera. It does say that I have to do it in 28 minutes, 50, so it must be 29 minutes, I don't know, intervals. So we'll give it a go, but I couldn't wait, I was so excited. So hi to everybody that's come back, welcome. And if you're new, hi, I'm Cal from Cal's Craft. I've got a new camera. If you want to know how I've got a new camera, see my last video. I'll try and remember to put an eye up there so you can see. So Debbie, I'm using it and I love it. Absolutely love it. I think I've zoomed in okay. As I go out a bit, or do I go in? Oh, I think it's brilliant. Millie put it on a setting, but I don't know what she's put it on. That'll do though, won't it? Do you want to go out a little bit? Do you want to see my little cat? Look at that, just goes out in little bits. Love it. Anyway, you're not going to be looking at this anyway. You'll probably be listening and doing your own little bits and pieces. But I had to come on and try it, and then I'm going to see what it likes. How to upload it off here, because I haven't got a clue. I have ordered a manual, because the manual decided to be all in German. We thought it would have the English down the side of it, but it doesn't. But it was free to upload the manual, so that was okay. So then I'm going to transfer it from here by Wi-Fi, listen to this, by just putting this by my phone, switching my phone onto SnapBridge, and it will automatically transfer the video over to my phone so I can edit it and upload it. Yeah. I'm not sure if I can do it on my computer, so I thought, well, first time I'll try and do it through my phone, and then if it works that way, then maybe we'll have a go doing it through the computer. But as you all know, my computer's old, so I don't know whether you can get an app for a computer to do editing on computer. Anybody out there, let me know if you can do editing on a computer. Well, it's not a computer, it's a, what is it? It's a Dell laptop. Grant keeps saying, it's not a computer, it's a laptop. Aren't they the same? No, they're not. So I stand corrected, so my laptop. So if anybody knows if you can put an app, like, what have I got? Video Guru at the moment on my phone, because I like that, because if I video and the video's the wrong way round, I can turn it, which I think this one might be, I don't know. No, it shouldn't be, because the writing's upside down. Does that? No, I don't know. See, it's going to be all new, but we're experimenting, so I thought we'd experiment together. So how's everybody's weeks going? It's Wednesday. It's wet. No, I lie. We have a break in the rain. It's not even windy. It's just dull and damp. It was raining this morning. But what's new for Wales, isn't it? So I hope you're all staying safe. We're doing it here as best we can. My kids are still going to school. I have kept Jessie home because her tonsils are still swollen. So I've kept her away. But it's just been announced on the news a couple of minutes ago that Wales will be closing their schools and Scotland as of Monday. So they're bringing the Easter holidays forward 2 weeks. So I don't know whether that means they'll only be off for 2 weeks and then they'll go back and then just be off for the bank holidays, or whether they'll be off for 2 weeks and then continue through the Easter holidays. I don't know. I didn't quite follow that bit. So we'll see. But Millie's got loads and loads of work that they've been given. Coronavirus, what's they called? Coronavirus emergency packs. Only to be opened if they're off school. So I don't know whether Jessie will have some sent home with Millie or not. I don't know. But I can do loads of stuff with them. I mean, I home tutored Joshua for a year. So I know where to get some resources and stuff. But they will be doing loads of baking. They've already started doing some baking this week. So we're going to carry on with our baking. I mean, we always do make our own breads and cakes and biscuits and cookies or whatever. So I said, you get a bit lapsadaisy, so we haven't made as many as we usually do. So I said, you can have like cookery lessons. And he says, I don't take cookery. I said, well, you all need to learn to cook. And as you know, they've all started to learn to cook a meal. What did we started about 5 or 6 weeks ago, before all this, that they'd write a menu out for the week for tea or dinner, whatever you call your evening meal, and then they would help to cook it, to learn how to cook it. So I said we can carry on with that. So there's loads of books to read, there's apps online that you can go on to help you. Millie's got loads, as I say, to do. You know, so there's something to do. I'm looking forward to having them home. I love having them home. Apart from when they argue, just bang their heads together then. Only joking. I just separate them. Yeah. Josh does a lot of his sixth form work online, so when the teacher's off ill or whatever, she'll just send all the information through line and then they just communicate back and forth online, so he'll be alright with his. Grant doesn't know with his works. I'm hoping they don't send him home, because we said, how the hell are we supposed to pay the rent? How the hell are we supposed to buy food? Because we live week to week. Because I haven't been able to stock up like all these people have been doing. I've just been able to get what I need for the week. That's it. And then I keep a little tiny bit back to buy fresh bread and fresh milk. I did go to get some fresh bread this morning. And yes, the shelves were empty, but on the toilet roll aisle there was 2 packs of 4 in each pack on the shelf. Before you say, no, I wasn't greedy, I didn't take the 2 packs, I took the 1 pack, and I did have a pack of 4 here. And I rang my dad and I said, have you got any? He said no. I said, well, I'll get this 4 for you. So I got the 4 for him, so I didn't even buy it for myself. Because as you know, my mum's got dementia and she's also got a bowel condition, so she definitely needs the toilet roll at home. So yeah, so I was glad that I phoned him. And there's a woman, she's probably my age, maybe a little bit older, 50s, middle 50s, 60, somewhere around there. So she was grateful for the other 4 pack, which I had to get down for. I mean, I'm only 5'4" and a bit. I think she was about 5'2", so between us we managed to get them down, as they say. Yeah, but there's no hand sanitizers, no soap, no tin. Well, there was a couple of tin stuff, just a few tin potatoes or tin peas. That was about it. No tin tomatoes, no other tin veg, no tin spaghetti. There were some beans there, I think. Or was there? No, there wasn't any beans there. Washing powder, no washing powder whatsoever, but I've got enough because I'd only just bought a big box the week before this broke, so got a couple of weeks worth of that. But I did buy some shower gel because I thought I could make my own soap stuff out of shower gel. And I've also got in my craft shed some alcohol, rubbing alcohol that I use for my crafting. So I said I can always make up some, the hand, you know, what's it called? Not hand cleanser. You know, the alcohol thing. Rubs, you know what I mean, that. So if anybody needs any that's elderly or frail or whatever, I've only got a little bit, but it would make a couple up, do you know what I mean? So I can do that for them. But I went to get so people with chronic pain conditions. I made the decision last year because I didn't realise I was getting my paracetamols on my prescription because I wanted my painkillers to be split up so I could choose the dosage that I use. So I didn't want codridamol or cocodamol or sulfadol or any of them. I wanted the codeine separate and the paracetamol separate so I could choose what dose I gave myself depending what my pain levels were at, which they thought was a great idea. And then I realised how much paracetamol cost in National Health. So I said, look, I'll buy the paracetamols. You just supply the high dosage codeine because I'm on a very high dose. But I cut them back as well because I thought, right, you know, try and manage just on paracetamol. Of course, I can't get paracetamols now. So I've got no paracetamol. So the last 2 nights I have been in agony. Absolutely agony at night. I did have a packet, 1 packet of 24 left, what day did I buy that? Friday? But I need to keep 12 back in case anything the kids need it. So, I didn't use any at night because I think I need them in the day, so I take 2 sort of mid-morning to get me you know, partially through the day. It doesn't take it away, but you know, it helps a bit. But I've used the last of my codeines as well, and there's no paracetamol based anything. If anybody says I can't take ibuprofen because I've got a severe allergy to that, it closes my airways, so I can't take anything with that in it. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. That's the only thing I'm really worried about, is how I'm going to cope with the pain. I mean, I've got a little bit of morphine left, but I try and keep that to absolute bare minimum because you do not want to get hooked on that. So I don't know, so I might have to phone the doctors because you're not allowed to go to our doctors. You only can ring them and see what they suggest to do. And then Grant phoned yesterday. Some of you will remember the ongoing toothache he's got, and he's been forwarded to have it taken out because he's on blood thinners and stuff, so it's a bit more complicated. The dentist would do it at a push, he said, if he was in agony. Well, not that night before he was in agony. And again, because we've got no painkillers, I did give him my last 2 codeines, that's why I didn't have them. And my paracetamols out of the 12 because he was, and everybody knows what toothache's like. It's he'd cracked a tooth, the filling had come out, and I think he'd got an infection. He has had antibiotics, but it hasn't done any good. So he phoned the dentist yesterday. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, we can do it. We'll work around. We'll be careful with the blood thinners. The hospital's just down the road, 2 minutes down the road. We can pack it, you know. Yeah. So a plan was made. So he finished work early, so he lost half a day's pay anyway. That'll do. Came. The appointment was at 3:10. We got there at 3:10 because we thought get there early, you don't want to miss it because he was in agony. And she called us in straight away. And I thought, oh heck. And the dentist is in there and he looked upset. She looked upset. I thought, oh Christ, what's coming? She said, we can't do it. We've just had an email through from the government about an hour ago shutting us down. We are not allowed to do any procedures on anybody. We can do a checkup, but that is it. No other procedures are allowed. So she said, I was sorry. Well, Grant nearly burst into tears. I've never seen him get so upset so quickly. And then he sort of, not shouting at him, but he did raise his voice and he said, what the hell am I supposed to do? You know, because he was in agony and he is scared of the dentist, but he had to go. And they said, there's nothing we can do, you know, our hands are tied. And I said, I can't even, so I butt in, I said, I can't even get him painkillers because there's just nothing on the shelves. So he said, well, the most I can do is I can give you a strong painkiller, but I only can prescribe 28. So if you need him over a 24-hour period, I only can give you like 5 days roughly, just less than 5 days of this strong painkiller. But he said, what I can do on top is give you 2 different types of antibiotic, So wherever the infection is, one or the other will kill it. So he said hopefully by the time the antibiotics are fully worked, the pain level should be down and you won't need the strong painkillers, or you won't need them anymore. So I said, well, we got no choice. And Grant was there. I said, look, it's not their fault. He said, I know it's not your fault. And the dentist was saying, well, this will probably make us go bust. He said, I've got to go and tell my wife now that we'll have no money coming in. We might lose the business because he's on his own there anyway. Because nobody wants to work in rural Wales. And so we went and got the prescription for him. So he's got that. So God knows what's going to happen there. So he said, oh, that's it. They'll probably stop the appointment because they won't operate now. I said, well, they wouldn't operate now anyway because all procedures, even in the hospitals, all dental procedures have been stopped unless it's life-threatening, if there's, massive infection or something. So he's worrying about that. And then I'm thinking, oh, God, it's taken me years to get a ears, nose and throat appointment for Jessie, for him to agree for her to have one. So that's not till the 30th of March, but I'm thinking, are they going to stop, even though it's just a chat, not going to do anything, just a chat? Will they stop that appointment? Plus I've got my CT scan of my jaw to see what's going on in the jaw. And Grant has also got his on the 1st of April. Same day as I've got mine. I'm in one hospital and he's in a different one, about 50 miles apart, to see whether he stops breathing at night or not. We get the final results. Well, it got cancelled the other week because of the floods. And now it could get cancelled with the coronavirus because not sure whether he stops breathing or not. Not that because he's not overweight or anything like that to cause sleep apnea or anything like that. But they know something's going on in his body at night. That's why he had the heart attack. That's why he's had the 2 mini strokes. So they're trying to find, sort of cancel things out to find out where to go. So we might not have the answers to that yet. So it's like everything seems to be up in the air, doesn't it? But I said to Grant, at least we're all here. So I've been planning, because like I said to you on my live, got to have plenty of supplies of crafting. So I thought, well, I've got plenty of stuff in for the girls and me to do. Grant's got stacks of bits of wood that we managed to acquire last year. So I said if he does get quarantined to home, at least he can whittle away. But I thought, what we do is we'll get the metal detector out and we'll just drive to remote places and just metal detect, start digging up places and spend time out and about as a family. I said, because you won't have to, we live in the middle of rural Wales, so there are so many farm areas with acres and acres and acres of fields. My cousin's got things that I can just go with the kids down by the rivers and just start metal detecting without being near any humans, as they say. Not that we've been isolated, because we haven't, but I'm just saying if we did. So the kids will be kept busy. Joshua will be just talking to his mates non-stop. Anyway, as long as the internet doesn't go down, I think Joshua will be fine. The girls won't bother. And Jessie's just getting into making miniatures. She showed him on Sunday. Well, Sunday she started. She made a hot dog. What was it, a hot dog? What did she make, guys? She made a hot dog. Oh, a donut, a hot dog in its roll. And she made like we called it a Muppet face, like a human sort of shaped head. Face looking at you, 2 googly eyes and some big red lips. Like, it was really good. She called it Janice because we had a vote on it and everybody came up these names and then she chose it and it was Janice. So she's gone and made a burger in a bun now with lettuce and tomato and a slice of cheese. And what else did she make? Oh, she's going to try and make another face. That's it. So yeah, so she said she's going to carry on doing that because there's still loads of the clay left. So we will have plenty to do. And if it doesn't absolutely tip down with rain, we might actually get to sort the garden out because we'll have time on our hands. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing, I think, to pass the time. I'm just praying that I can get some painkillers though. But hey ho, there's always a piece of wood to bite on, as they say, like the olden days. Yes, I've got stew on cooking. I went to the butcher's on yesterday because it's right next door to the dentist. I just was making a big batch of burgers up, fresh burgers from their meat off their own farm. So I got 12 normal thin sausages, but they're huge. They're about that long. They're really long. So I got 12 of them. No, I didn't. I got 10 of those, and then I got 5 of pork brie and apple ones because Grant wanted to try them, so I thought we'll all try them. And then I got 10 burgers, so I separated them up into 2s and put them in the freezer because I thought they'll make some meals. Yeah, that was... Oh, did I get anything else? No, that's all I got from the local butchers. I went into Spar. Managed to get some cat food in there because Tesco's hasn't had any cat food, so I didn't have any cat food. Well, I think I had enough for that night. So I managed to get some cat food as well for the cats. I got dog food Sunday. There was 1 box left on the shelf on Sunday of her food, and as you know, I've got to be so careful what I feed her at the moment, but they did have 1 box left, so everybody's got enough food in the house for at least 4 or 5 days, and I could probably stretch it if I need to. But I could kick myself because I've always been brought up that you have a reserve, you know, like in your pantry. You always have a few weeks of tin stuff in and dried stuff in and flour and sugar, and you know, so you can always get by. And I've always done that, but after Christmas I said to Grant, right, I'm going to run it right down. I said, sort it all out, clean it all out, I said, and then we'll start from scratch again. So I run it right down, and then I'm due to do a shop not this weekend, and of course within the week, we've come rolling up to the weekend, the shelves are empty. So of course for the first time in the 20 years we've been married, I haven't got anything stocked in the cupboards. I said, bloody typical. I've always been prepared. Only like 2 weeks worth of tin tomatoes, tin potatoes, tin peas, you know, but little tiny 2 packs of pasta. Made sure I've got, if I go down to half a bag of flour, I'd get another bag of flour in. Do you know, like just like that. But of course I'd run it all down and got nothing. But ne'er mind, it could be worse. As they say, it could be worse. There's stuff in the hedgerows you could eat, folks. That's what we used to go for foraging when we were younger. I said so. How many minutes have we got? We've got 4 minutes left because I don't know how to join stuff up on this yet. I haven't quite figured that bit out yet. So I'll be doing some experiments with Millie because she understands. She just looks like, oh yeah, you just do this and you just do this and you just do that. Now I only know how to zoom. You think, how does she know to zoom though? Because Mrs. Coffee left me a tip on how to do it, what the T and the W was. So that's about the only button I know what to use. The on-off button, press the button for the record, and what the T and the W do. That's it. Told you I'm a techno whiz. I am. So yeah. So hopefully this week I'm going to do a floss tube one because I've got a few bits that I bought to show you. And I have ordered some Aida because Rachel Ray very kindly sent me some links to people that sell it, the colour I want. So I've used one of those links and ordered some Aida. It's coming from Bulgaria, so I don't know when that'll get here, but whenever it gets here it'll get here because that's for the blue. And I haven't finished the fox yet, and I want to do a colouring one because I want to see what this camera's like when I do a colouring one. See if the colours are any better or what, or if the zoom in is better. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Yeah, so that's my bit of news. So it's short and brief, but I just I couldn't wait to try this camera out. Because so if you want to see a grown woman cry, just go back and see the last video. As I say, if I remember, I will put the eye in that for you all. Yeah, I did cry like a baby. And I love you, Debbie. And I shall never forget your generosity. And so far, so good with the camera. So I've got 1, 2, 3 more drills to put down. Of this colour. And then once I've done this, I will sort the camera out, and then I'm going to do a bit of cross stitch, hopefully, before Millie's home. So I'll say thank you ever so much for stopping by and listening to this little video. I do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed and you'd like to, there's a little button that you can press just down below the screen, and there's a little notification button by the side which will let you know if I go live or I put a video up. We'd love to have you all aboard, and thank you again to everybody that comes and watches my videos, and especially the ones that comment, because I love reading your comments and having a chat back. It makes my day. And if you want to know anything about me or have a chat to me, my details are down below. So take care of yourselves, stay safe, follow the guidelines, and speak to you all soon. Bye for now.